Hi, this is Kim with Mom's Creative Moments. Welcome back to my channel. So today we are continuing the Ireland series, and we're going to do some more work at the Dublin Castle. This is, I think, the last layout that we're doing for the Dublin Castle, and it is the Ballroom, which is a fun one. And I'm following the sketch that we got for the May virtual crop, sketch number 3, which is a 2-page sketch, so I didn't have to modify anything. Or at least I let me just double check it. Yeah, no, I did not modify any part of it other than one very small thing, and it was simply because I cut something slightly wrong, so I had to kind of fix it. But you'll see it. It'll be really self-explanatory, and it really doesn't make a huge difference, I don't think, to the layout. So take a look. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope it's something that will work well in your albums and give you some guidance that will help. Thanks so much for joining me. Let's check out my workspace and get started. All right, so this is my desktop for today, and you'll recognize this as the right-hand page of the last layout that we did. And we are continuing to do, I think this is just one more page of the Dublin Castle today. And I'm going to do another virtual crop sketch. This is from May, and this is sketch number 3, this one here with all the different squares. Now, there's a couple different ways that you can do squares. You can do squares by cutting them on your trimmer, or you can use the CM square punch, which is the size of these. It's a 1 3/4 inch square that square punch will punch out. But my recommendation would be, if you are using a lot of different papers, a lot of scraps of paper, then use the punch. That is by far the easier way of doing it. But if you have already, you know, a strip of paper or a full 12 by 12 sheet you're cutting from, I would not use the punch. And the reason is because when you are punching out of a piece of paper and then you try to punch next to it, it can be kind of difficult to do that. It's certainly a more tedious way of doing it. Whereas if you are cutting it on a trimmer, you can just measure and cut a bunch of squares and you're done. So for me, that's faster and easier to just use my trimmer. But again, if you're using scraps of paper, then it certainly would be a lot easier to just use a punch. So pick your poison, choose your weapon. I don't know, you know, one of those things. I have chosen a bunch of papers that I have enough of to make a variety of different squares. And I have also pulled from my stash 4 1/2-inch strips, which will make these strips that go across both sides. So we'll trim them to the appropriate length and they'll be good to go. I have also gotten out the Whispy Chain Border Maker cartridge, so if you have this in your stash, this is what I'm going to be using today. If not, then any border maker cartridge that separates from your page, we call those chain border maker cartridges. Those would be perfectly appropriate and easy to use in this layout. As you see, we've got some kind of a border that goes across here. So yeah, let's get started cutting some of these pieces, and we'll before you know it, we'll be putting this together. Okay, so let me just remove some of these photos and get them out of the way. Let me just remove both of the pages too and set those off to the side. All right, so this large 12 by 12 piece of paper is going to be across both pages. It's this represented by this kind of white field here, which is 8 by 6, And if you make it 8 by 6 and you have a 4 by 6 photo that can fit right here and right here, then that is ideal. But if you don't have 4 by 6 vertical photos to go in this spot right here, then you'll want to just make it a 6 by 12 piece that goes in here, and that way any size photo can go here and it will be fine. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and make mine a 12 by 6, which essentially means that I'm going to just cut this piece of paper in half. And let's see, I want it to be cut in half this way, so that we can read the words. The words are going a bunch of different directions though, so it's not a super critical thing, but there is a right way and a wrong way. It could be upside down if you turned it a particular direction. So there's those pieces. We're going to, like I said, I've got these 4 1/2-inch pieces that were all cut from the same paper. So I'm going to use these to be the top and the bottom, those 1/2-inch pieces there. And they need to be a 1/2 by 10 1/2. So I'm just going to stack them all up and make sure that they are all nice and even. Okay, so we're going to stack them all up, and we're just going to trim off 1.5 inches so that they are 10 1/2 inches. So let me just make sure that they are a full 12 inches first, and yes, they're a full 12 inches, so that's good news. So we're going to just turn these. It's so easy to stack, you know, 1 or 2, but when you start stacking several more than that, then it can kind of get a little crazy. They like to move around on you. Okay. So we just need 1.5 inches taken off of this. And I just need to make sure that it's nice and straight. Nope, I'm not going to stack that many. They are wiggling around, and that's not good. So we'll just do them one at a time, because I really want to make sure that these are the right length. So there's 1. 2. 3. And 4. Okay, so those are all good to go. And now we need a variety of 1 3/4 inch squares. Hold on a second, my monitor just went to sleep. There we go. All right. So now we need a variety of 1 3/4 inch squares. And I have this piece out here just in case we need it. I'm going to set it over here though for a second while I work on this. So 1 3/4 inch is actually all the way out here to the very last mark on your right side of the trimmer. So not all the way to the edge, but all the way to the last mark is 1 3/4 inches. And then this piece is perfect because it's just it's able to do several, like two strips of 1 3/4. So that's great. So we're just going to go in through here and cut a bunch of these. And I'm going to cut using a couple of other papers so that we have a nice variety of squares. And then I'll be right back. let's see. So we need 24 squares. That means 6 of 4 different designs. So I need to cut just a couple more of this one. My son has forgotten that I'm recording and he's singing upstairs. Love it. Okay, so there's that. Then we need well, I might not have exactly what I'm looking for, so let's go ahead and we'll cut this one so that we have a variety. We may not have exactly the right number to repeat the design the way they have, but we can do 6 squares and that'll be okay as long as we have 6 squares. And you'll notice that all of the papers I've chosen are all pretty monochromatic. They're all done in blues and shades of blue. So, so it makes it a little bit easier to mix them together and have an aesthetically pleasing combination. Okay, there's that. All right, so I think that will do us just fine. And then we're going to, so I'll save those right there. Then I'm going to punch I always think of Will-o'-the-Wisp, the Whispy Chain punch. We're going to punch for this design right here, those dots or circles. We're going to punch that out of the gold shimmer since we're still at the Dublin Castle. And shoot, last time we were working on pages for this, we were working on the throne room pages and there was lots of gilded things around. So this is the ballroom. The photos we're doing today are from the ballroom, and so I think gold is very appropriate for adorning these pages. I think it will look really lovely. So we'll put that across the top edge. We'll punch one more, and so that both sides are the same. All right. Okay, let's get to assembling. I'm gonna grab, we'll start with the right side of the page this time around. Those are extra, so I'll move them over there. All right, so first thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna move these pictures out of the way so that we can have a blank page. We're going to take one of these pieces, we're going to center it. So I'm going to put adhesive down both long sides, not all the way down, just at 5 different intervals, each end, in the middle, and in between. Then I'm going to start on the hinged side and I'm going to just center this, and I'm just doing this just visually centering this. So we're going to center that edge and then smooth it out to the outside edge. Ta-da! Okay. Then we're going to take several of these squares and we're going to let's see, we're gonna do, first we're just gonna do one of each one. And actually I'm gonna flip that over and do that as a lighter one. We're gonna do one of each pattern. At the top and one at the bottom. Come on, here we go. And then we'll come back in with a darker one. Let's see. I need one more for, oh, there we go. All right, now we've got 6 on top and 6 on the bottom, and let me just make sure I've got enough for, okay, I'm gonna need another one of those, I think. These are the, like that. I've got 2 and 2 of those. There we go. 2 and 2 and 2. Down here. Ooh, I don't have 2 more of those. That may be a problem. Two, 4, 6. Oh, wait a minute. I think we can make it work. Right? Because we had 4 of those, 2 of those, 2 of those, 2 of those, and 2 of those. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. So that's perfect. Okay, sorry, I had to do the mental math and make sure I have enough of the pieces to do it this way before I get started. That's my biggest, I guess, tip of the day, is make sure you have what you need before you get started. Okay, so we're going to take our square pieces and we're going to line them up right along the edge of our 6-inch piece. Try to balance your hues. Try to, if you're using a monochromatic color scheme like I am, try to make sure that like these two that are light are kind of separated. So you have lights and darks throughout the row instead of all light on one side and all dark on the other, unless you're trying to do something that's like a gradual color gradient. Does that make sense? I'll put this one next. Oops. All right. Try to be careful of any patterns that you have in the paper so that you can make sure that they're going the direction that you want them to go. So I've got light down here and a little bit darker up there. Maybe we'll turn that around and put the darker on the bottom. Okay, so like so. Then we're going to take one of these. And this is going to go across the bottom. And that's the difference between variations. I should have measured this piece a little bit better, but that's okay. Maybe I'll put an embellishment there and we won't see it as well. All right, so checking here, it looks like our pattern is the same, so they've got the same papers mirroring each other, so I'm going to try to do that as well. So we'll put the leaves up here, and I think my 6x12 paper was a little bit low. I should have made it just a little bit higher, I think, because I'm going to end up with a little more space at the top than at the bottom, I think. But well, let's see. We'll wait and see, I guess. One's gonna go out. This one's gonna go this way. We're going to put our other 1/2 inch piece across the top up here. Wow, that one was really short. Clearly, I should have measured better. That's about a 1/2 inch short. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make these more even. This is not the way the project recipe says to do it, but I think it will be okay if I just do it this way. I'm going to trim this up so that it is roughly a 1/2 inch from the edge, like that. So it's even. Because it's the same up here as it is down here, I think it will be just fine. And we'll make the page on the other side similar. Oh, then we need to take our wispy chains. I always forget about that little teeny bit that's right on the end of the wispy chain. And this one is going to go across the bottom here, the bottom edge of these top squares. So just try to keep it centered all the way across. So that it's balanced. Okay, now we're going to jump over and do the same thing, but on the left side. Alright, let's bring this one down and make sure that this piece is going on similarly. Look, they're going to be well, I think it'll actually work out okay this way. I had not intended to make it go this way so that the swirls on either side were coming out from the center. Can you see how that has ended up like that? That's not really because I meant to do that. I should just claim it, right? I should just say, I meant to do that. I didn't really mean to do that, but I think it's cool. I think it looks good that way. Anyway, all right. So our layout, the sketch that we are attempting to follow, even though I've had to modify it just a little bit, I've got a lot more photos than what this layout is saying we should be using. All right, so I'm going to do my best to make this resemble the way that the photos are supposed to be laid out here. But I'm just trying to warn you, I guess, that it may not be exactly the same. Because this cute picture of my sister is not the right size, and neither is this one down here. Let me just do a little bit of trimming though and bring them a little bit more into line. I think we can't really see this painting behind her, so I'm going to go ahead and just trim a little bit off above her head and a little bit off from this side as well, so that the picture, because the picture really is more about her than it is about the room behind her, since we can't see any of the features in the room behind her. And this one I'm going to just trim a little bit off of the top because it doesn't change what we are seeing in the photo. Hopefully that makes sense. And on this side, I think did I already trim these? I can't remember. I think I might have. Nope, I didn't. All right, we're going to take just a little bit off of the bottom of this one, a little bit off of this one, perfect. All right. And I'm going to leave that one just the way it is. Okay. So the one of the last rooms we went in as we did the tour of Dublin Castle was the ballroom. And this is a picture of the ceiling. These beautiful paintings were literally above the chandeliers. You can see the chandeliers hanging there. You had to go upside down and backwards to be able to see them. Pretty amazing stuff. And very cool. So of course we had to take pictures. Wouldn't you? This is just a little poster that they had on an easel that kind of explained some of the history of this is called St. Patrick's Hall, and it is the ballroom that is in that in this building. You can see it's lined with flags on either side, and then the paintings that are in this photo are right here above these chandeliers, and this beautiful gilded ceiling. Just opulence that is not what we live in, not what my family is used to, certainly. Very cool stuff. Okay, so we're going to, I'm just placing these with as even a border around them as possible, basically just 1/8 of an inch. And I trimmed these photos to accomplish that. So we're going to put down the top one, we're going to put down the bottom one, and then we will put down the one that goes in the middle. That way we can make the border between the top photo, the bottom, and the bottom photo, with the photo in between, even, because they are different. So I couldn't just center this photo in the middle and then have enough room on both sides. I had to kind of, you can see how there's more of this photo at the bottom than there is at the top from this one. It's just the way it works. Sometimes when you are putting photos together. And this particular photo is actually 2 photos that I've put together because I had 2 that were sort of overlapping, but and then in fact they overlapped quite a bit. But I just loved the way that this one showed the wall, and I loved the way that the one behind it showed how the forest just kind of goes around. This is a garden behind the castle, and then this building back here is just the city right next door to the castle grounds. And just interesting to me how things develop, you know, cities grow and the like. So and then this other photo here, give me a second, I'll flip it back over so you can see. This photo right here is of some very special wall hangings. I don't know if you can tell really in this video because it's very difficult, but they are pretty much 3-dimensional. They are not flat, and I believe they're made with plaster. If you are an art aficionado person and you know what that's called, please let me know and share with the rest of us. As my mom would say, share with the class. I don't remember what that was called. It was very well labeled. I just didn't get a photo of it, and so my brain forgot. But this room had a special name, and all of the art in there was done this way. So just really cool and unique. All right, so we need some embellishments, and you can see from the sketch that we've got embellishments suggested for right about here and right about here, but we have modified the design of this page a bit. So I would move a title or move, I'd almost think that probably putting the title here would be better than down here, just because, or maybe even here, since we've got the gold up here, we could do an embellishment here, a title here, and another embellishment here, and I think we would probably be good. So let's figure out what we're going to do as an embellishment. Let's see. I've got these stickers that are from the Ireland theme pack. I've got these stickers that are from a different one, and I'm drawing a blank as to which set that is. Give me a second. Oh, no, here it is. They are it's from Sunflower Fields. And what we could do is just use some of these flowers from Sunflower Fields. That would be kind of nice. Bring a bit of that ornateness to the country. I don't know. Maybe that isn't the best. Let's see. These are stickers from the 2021 National Scrapbook Day event. So we could use some of these. Alright. Let's use this blue Exploring Ireland, and we'll add a couple of we'll add a clover and a dragonfly. We'll put the clover up here since we're still in Dublin. That makes sense to me. And we'll put this we'll put that right there in that little niche, like it was meant to be there. Meant to be there. And let's see. We could use Smile and put it vertical over here. That might be more than I want to do though on this page. Just use a heart. I'm going to do like that, and then I'll add a title right here for the page when I do my titles. I think that'll work nicely. And this will be good too, because if my title doesn't all fit here, I can extend it over here just a little bit. Perfect. Okay. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope this has been helpful and inspiring for you. And I hope that you're able to complete sketch number 3 from the May virtual crop. And I hope you're able to keep up, because remember, if you do all the sketches from every month from the virtual crop, then at the end of the year you can turn in your tracker and be a part of a big drawing that they're going to do for more CM product at the end of the year. But you do have to do all of the layouts all year long. So if you follow my page, I'm trying to give you a sample of each one. My page, if you follow my channel, sorry, if you follow my channel, I'm trying to give you a sample of each one. So so hopefully that helps. Thanks so much for joining me today. Until next time, I hope you have many more creative moments. Go make it a great day.